Hello, hello, hello. My name is Denise Walsh, and I am so glad that you tuned in today for episode number 9. This is the 10 Things I Wish I Knew 10 years ago series. I have been an entrepreneur now for 10 years, and honestly, I never expected to do anything like this. I've been a networks distributor for the past 10 years, owning my own business, honestly, from my phone. And if you had told me 10 years ago I would have experienced success, that I would have found my passion, that I would have thrived in a business like this, I would have never believed you. But I can tell you that is exactly what happened. And it doesn't come on accident. To be honest, there have been so many things that I have learned over the past 10 years that it was really hard to narrow it down to my top 10. But this one is close to my favorite because I learned it years ago and I knew the power of this tip, but it wasn't until last year that I saw it truly like come into fruition in a couple different ways. So needless to say, let's get right into it. So personal development is a part of who I am. It's like a part of what I do. Previous to It Works, I was a clinical psychologist and I spent 6 years in school. So I was constantly learning and doing, projects and, textbooks and that kind of thing. And when I was done with school, I didn't have textbooks to read, but I still had this hunger to learn. And so I was always reading something, even from the very beginning of my business. I always had something in my ear when I was going for a run or a book to read on the nightstand. And then I heard that billionaires, yes, with a B, billionaires, read at least one book a week. And I thought, oh, baby, we're get on it. And that's when I really started doing Audible. And I mean, it's been crazy. So needless to say, one of the first books I read was called The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. And I loved this book. It truly resonated with me. And I want to share with you a story from it. So the compound effect is all about creating daily habits that done consistently over time will take you in a direction. It's about not necessarily having huge, massive change, like a 360-degree change. It's about having a 1-degree change. 1 degree, but will change you, like put you in a different path. Right? So let's use this as an example. You've got 2 guys, okay? One guy comes home. He's so tired from his job. He's exhausted. He just wants to veg out and do nothing. And so that's exactly what he does. From about 5:30 to 6 every night, he turns on the TV, eats a bag of potato chips, and just veggies out, right? Well, this other guy comes home from work. Oh my gosh, he's so tired. He doesn't want to think. He just wants to veg out. So the same half hour, 5:30 to 6, he chooses to relax by taking a walk around the block. So you've got one guy, same half hour, 5:30 to 6. He is sitting on the couch eating potato chips and watching TV. This leads him to that half hour turns into an hour, turns into all night, turns into, the bag of potato chips, and McDonald's on the way, and all of a sudden he's got acne or is gaining weight and just doesn't feel good. He doesn't have energy. He's lethargic. He feels lonely, depressed. It just kind of spirals out of control. And then you've got this guy. This guy goes for a walk around the block. That half-hour walk turns into an hour, turns into running around the block, turns into joining a triathlon club where he meets his future beautiful, hip, fit wife, where, that same half an hour doing 2 different things propels them to go in a direction. And so I love that story because it truly is the power of the habit. It's not about, what they do all day necessarily. It's like that 1 half hour can really take them in a direction. And so think about your half hours. What are you doing? What are you doing on a daily basis to create those habits, the healthy habits, the relationship habits, the business building habits that will propel you into the direction that you want to go? Recently, this is magnified for me as I entered my first bodybuilding show. So last year I decided that I wanted to up my own ante and, I've run a few marathons. I've always worked out. but I didn't quite know nutrition. You know, I thought I was eating well when I'd go to Panera or Qdoba, but what I found was that I was seriously eating the standard American diet. Like, I was eating out all the time. And so even if I was trying to make good choices, like, it's just not as good as eating your own vegetables and chicken, knowing exactly what's going in it, etc. So I decided to up my own ante and to create a new brain cell, learn a new skill by signing up for a bodybuilding show. So this was last April, okay? So I signed up in April, and the show wasn't until October. So the first 3 months were like getting into these new habits, seeing how my body was responding, learning how to meal prep, you know, being consistent with things, and just like learning the skill. And then the second 3 months were all about cutting down and getting ready for the show. Well, I can tell you that there were times within these first 3 months where I'd go, dude, does it really matter if I eat this cookie? Like, really? Does it really matter? The show is in October. Does it really matter what I do today? How important is today for a show that's in October? And there were times where I did eat the cookie. And what I learned from that is that one led to another. Led to, you know, me feeling like, oh man, I messed up. Or, you know, and you say you're going to do something and then you don't quite do it. I started to feel like guilty or bad about myself. It impacted my self-esteem. You know, eventually if I did cheat, quote unquote, I would, you know, be like, oh, screw it. The rest of the day is ruined. I'll just eat pizza. You know, one thing led to another. And so what I learned throughout that experience was that today absolutely does matter. It absolutely matters because it's taking you in a direction. And it's not a small choice. Like, all of those things led me to a point. So when I got to the last 3 months where I was really cutting down and preparing for the show, I knew that I wanted to step on that stage and I wanted to know I did everything. That I wanted to know that I put it all on the table. I didn't want to have any regrets or have any times where I thought, well, maybe I shouldn't have done this, or maybe I shouldn't have done that, or maybe if only I want to know I did everything I could. So I didn't deviate off the plan whatsoever. I had the end goal in mind, and even if I didn't feel like it, even if I was tired, I just stuck to the plan. And I knew that even if it was like that 1% change or 1% decision today, it was all going to add up. And that's what the compound effect is all about. Like, this one decision here adds up and multiplies on each other to take you somewhere. And that's how you create momentum, by sticking to one thing for a long period of time, and it starts to snowball. And I found that with this bodybuilding prep, you know, 1 week you go, is this really working? 2 weeks, I kind of see stuff. By week 4 of being consistent, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never felt this good. I've never drank this so much water. My skin is clearing up. I have more energy. I feel confident about myself. I'm proud of my accomplishments. You know, there's things that happen that when you start to snowball and see things start to change. So let's connect this back to the business. You have a goal for your business, whether it's to pay off debt, take your kids to Disney, you know, you want to hit diamonds, you want to quit your job, you want to pay, you know, you want to add income to your family if you're a stay-at-home mom. We all have goals, right? We all have that end goal. And it's those 1% things that we do consistently over time that are going to end up creating momentum to get us to that goal. So what I want to share today is that today absolutely matters, because today is either going to take you on a path that you don't want to be on, or it's going to take you on a path that you do want to be on. And that half an hour of calling leads, of following up with people, of going to your parties, of booking your calendar, all of that starts to snowball and it starts to add up. And so because I know this now, I honestly, like, every day I'm like, this is the day. This is the day that I am going to sign up with someone who just is going to rock out my business. This is the day where I am going to be, you know, so excited to follow up with my at least 10 people a day, right? I'm going to message 10 new people today. I'm going to follow up with 10 new people today. And this is the day that's going to make or break my business. I go into the day and I go into every lead follow-up being like, this is it. This is so important. This is going to change my family. And I'm claiming that victory, and I'm speaking life over my follow-ups. I'm speaking life over my parties, because I've decided that these things, these small things added up over time, will change my family for generations, because they already have. So I know the power of doing these consistent things day in and day out. And at first you may wonder, is calling leads that big of a deal? Is doing this power hour that big of a deal? Is it really that important if I plug into this team call? And my answer is a resounding yes. Yes, it is, because it's taking you in a direction, and it's going to start to compound. And those 5 lead calls will turn into 10, will turn into 20, will turn into finding those rock stars and being the rock star that you want for your team. So I hope that you guys found this a bit helpful. I know that you are all doing your own personal development, and I would love to hear in the comments below what your favorite personal development book, maybe even you've listened to all 9 of these episodes so far and you've had some aha moments of yourself along the way. I'd love to hear them, because I know that everybody is made for more, and it's easy to take the easy way out. It's hard to stay disciplined and focused, yet that is where the reward is. So post your aha moments below. Our next episode 10, is going to be on Sunday, so stay tuned for that. This is going to be kind of the culmination of it all, and you do not want to miss it. So thank you guys so much. Have an amazing day.